Okay. Some news broke yesterday. On Friday after we got done playing around.
Why does everything happen right after we're off the air? Like, as soon as we're done and our shift is over, that's when all the news breaks. And this is big news. I mean, all weekend I was kind of looking at it. Robert Kraft getting he's included in a prostitute sting. Now, it says, has he been arrested? No. So he's been indicted, so a warrant will be issued, and his attorney will handle it, blah, blah, blah. But he has not been arrested yet. That's kind of important for what you're about to talk about.
Yeah, the odds makers, God, it's got to be great when sports betting becomes totally legal coast to coast, because we're going to have all kinds of fun betting on people's lives. They put up the odds on whether or not he would be found guilty of soliciting a prostitute. What do you think is the longer shot? What is the better payout on this one? Guilty, just for being found guilty. We'll get to the jail time thing in just a minute.
Oh, okay. What are the odds on him being found guilty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would say there are better odds of him being found guilty than not guilty.
You'd have to put up $500 to win $100 on the yes side of things. Whereas no, you only have to put up $100 to win $300. So people do think that he's going to be found guilty, but whether or not he's going to serve any jail time in either this calendar year or next calendar year is a different story. $100 to win $200 if it comes down. Yes, he does have to spend time in jail. You have to put up $300 to win $100 if he does not spend time in jail.
Okay, now, do you want some facts? I got the police officer, the chief of police down in Jupiter, Florida, talking about the 77-year-old
billionaire.
My
hard-earned cash down on whether or not Robert Kraft's going to be found guilty or go to jail. Of course I want facts.
This is what he said about the case so far.
Can you confirm for us that name is the high-profile individual and professional sports franchise owner that we believe it to be?
Yes, sir. He is one of the individuals.
Name who he is.
That would be Mr. Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots?
Yes, sir.
And what is he being charged with?
Soliciting another to commit prostitution.
And how many counts may he face?
Right now we have two.
All right, 2 counts on him. Now, what's the evidence, right?
Is there video evidence of his alleged acts?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't want to see a Robert Kraft sex tape. The last thing I want to see.
Nobody wants to see anybody they know have sex unless they're the opposite, attracted to him, whatever. Nobody wants to see another guy, especially of that age. You know, Trump's is...
Well, the thing is, if it's 2 counts, that means he had to go there once and then go there again, right?
Yeah.
So then, if there's
or it's with 2 women. It could be with multiple women.
I would think if it's a sting operation, then they would step in and say, "Hey, you're being arrested ahead of time."
Maybe. He's friends with Trump. What do you think Trump's had to say about this whole thing?
He's friends with Donald Trump?
Yeah, they're
I didn't know that.
They're all the billionaires are friends.
I bet you he said, "Good for him. Florida's got some great talent." That's what I think.
Bob Kraft, he's a friend of yours.
Well, it's very sad. I was very surprised to see it. He's proclaimed his innocence totally, but I'm very surprised to see it.
There you go. Another good man caught on tape.
I was talking with my tax guy's also a football coach, so he's big into football. And I was talking with him about this whole thing. We talked for a long time about it. And I think the bigger issue, the bigger picture here is this I don't think Robert Kraft is going to, Jerry Richardson sold the Carolina Panthers in the midst of a sexual misconduct, sexual harassment. It was sexual harassment, okay? So who knows what kind of sexual harassment's going on in our office with the Carolina Panthers. But he deemed it necessary to remove himself from that situation. This is human trafficking. Okay? That's what you are in on when you go to a prostitute. The NFL's taking this hardline stance. How are they going to... And the other owners probably don't like Robert Kraft all that much because he's so successful. They're the ones that make the decisions on whether or not he should be voted out as an owner and have to sell the team? That could get sticky. And maybe I'm overstating all this, but I look at it and I'm like, Jerry Richardson had to sell the team. Why wouldn't Robert Kraft have to sell the team? And if Robert Kraft has to sell the team, they're the three amigos: Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady.
Wow.
Right?
So that's where your mind went.
If one of the amigos has to fade away, and there's this contention between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady that everybody talks about, one of them's waiting out the other. Well, the house of cards is going to fall because Robert Kraft is the foundation that is keeping it in place.
Just interesting. That's where your mind went. Like, what's going to happen to the team? I thought, isn't he married or does he have a girlfriend? Is a much younger girlfriend. Yes. 39, almost 40 years younger than he is.
His wife passed away several years ago.
So he's dating this 39-year-old actress model. Her name's Ricky Lander. Very super attractive. She's taller than him. But maybe it's just a convenient thing. Maybe she said no more sex, so he had to go find it somewhere else. I'm just trying to always understand, like, okay, you're Robert Kraft. You own the best, most powerful football team in the NFL. You're one of the most powerful men in America.
Remember that Gillette?
Why would you put yourself in this situation?
Remember that Gillette commercial that came out about a month ago? And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's a good message to send across to men. You know, don't be jerks to women.
Yeah.
He owns Gillette. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Gillette Stadium, right?
Well, he owns Gillette. He owns the actual shaving. You go buy a shaver, Gillette shaver, and you're giving money to Robert Kraft. That can't look good. After you put out this whole campaign of like, men, be nice to women, men, treat them equally. Nowhere in that 2-minute video that was a commercial on YouTube did it say, unless you're going to solicit a prostitute at a massage parlor in Jupiter. So, that's a bad look.
Well, it's breaking the law. Why would you put yourself in that? And your girlfriend's beautiful, 39. But who knows? Nobody knows what's going on in somebody's house behind the doors. And apparently at Robert Kraft's house.
Strip mall in Jupiter.
That's
emphasis on the strip. Hey-o. A lot of people texting in about this.
Yeah, I know. People feel strong about it. Let's see. What's this last one say? I realize I should read these before I read them out loud.
No, just read it out loud. Billy Schmuck says, yeah, that's right, to Jeremy. Why would he take that risk and put himself around the situation? It's stupid. Yeah. He hadn't known a sex trafficking ring was going on around him. I mean, that's the thing, is he might not do this a lot, and maybe he didn't know there's a prostitution thing going on, because maybe this is like the one time he went in, he's like, okay.
But even if Robert Kraft ends up having to go in front of a judge and taking a plea deal and whatever, have to be on probation, I'm sure he's going to pay a fine. If he has to sell the Patriots, he is going to be just fine. At the end of the day.
The Patriots will not.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe to the podcast on Google, Apple, YouTube, and Podbean by clicking on Jeff and Jeremy at KZOZ.com.